So I've been trying my hand at DIY leather journals for about the last 6 months or so, and it's definitely been a journey. Okay, I would say that my biggest mistake going into this process was genuinely not understanding the difference between upholstery leather and vegetable tan leather. But we you live and you learn. So my first attempt at like a trifold was an utter failure because this is upholstery leather and it's far too thin to protect and hold journals, right? So learned a lot on this first try. After I figured out that the leather was too thin, I tried like reinforcing it in the areas where it was gonna hold journals. I tried different things, and it didn't go well. I'm probably gonna try to repurpose this to make it, how Louise Carmen has those portfolios that sit inside the actual journal and it's made of like really thin leather. I think this would work for that. But obviously I have a lot of sewing progress to make as well if I want to make that happen. Because to be honest with you, I have no idea how to sew a zipper onto something and then like make it functional to put things in. So I have a ways to go before I can probably create one of those. But this was my very first attempt. And so, bless her heart, we did what we could. My second attempt, I tried a bifold instead of a trifold. And I used a thicker, still upholstery leather, but a thicker upholstery leather, and used the thinner one to make pockets on the inside. This was a much better attempt. I used this little sewing machine I have here, and that proved to be difficult, but this one was much better. I was able to fit my B6 Slim, my Sterling Ink B6 Slim back here. This is a B6 Slim size. I specifically made it for that journal, and it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't perfect. Far from perfect actually, but this, when I have it like tied up and I have notebooks in here, is actually functional, and I'll probably keep this one. So this was my second attempt. Okay. Here's my third attempt. I went back and attempted a trifold again. This is where I started hand sewing the pockets instead of using my little sewing machine that I have. I sewed a pocket by hand, and I was really proud of this one. I felt like this, with the leather that I had at the time, because I went to the leather shop and I just didn't know what to buy, So I ended up like buying upholstery leather instead of like vegetable tan leather, which is thicker. But this one's pretty cute. I did a pretty good job on this one, and this can hold like A5 Slim, A5, notebooks, etc. I picked up this. It's like can you see that? It's got teeth, and it creates holes in the leather, and then they're equally spaced. And then I use this polyester upholstery thread that I got from Michaels. Oh, it's nylon. And I use this needle that I got out of a bookbinding kit that I bought off of Amazon. I haven't got around to the bookbinding yet, but this needle came in handy, and I did this one by hand, and I was pretty proud of this one. This one, what I learned about this one is that this leather is kind of slippery. It has a slippery feel. And for holding notebooks, I kind of want the leather to have like this. I wish I had more of this leather that I could have put on the outside and then put this on the inside for pockets. So I learned more about what I liked about leather textures with this one. But this was my best one so far. This was my third attempt. So, little by little improvement, right? Somewhere along this journey, I was watching this YouTube creator. Her name is Seaweed Kisses. And she went to Michael's. Michael's sells just like a little square of leather. Everybody complains because they actually staple the leather to, like, I don't know if you can see this, but they put staple holes in the leather to like hang it up on the display. But besides that, it's pretty cool because it is vegetable tan. It's a small piece. And you know, if you got a Michael's coupon, it's only gonna run you like $8 or $9. So needless to say, I picked that up and I applied everything I learned on my first 3 attempts to this attempt, and this is by far my favorite. I feel like I did a really great job. Okay, so let's get into it. So we already talked about how this is just one solid piece of leather that I picked up from Michael's. And I have just been slowly over the last month or so making little changes to it. So I started off just finding the middle, and I made 2 holes here. I got some actually really thick elastic from Amazon. It's thicker than usual, but because I knew I wanted to really chunk it up, you know. So put my elastic on here. This is a money, like a cash clip. And I got this from Amazon as well. My intention for this was to put the pencil board on the inside and then have it like readily available. I actually didn't really like the pencil board that Travelers Company did this year. So I'm probably going to try to figure out how to make my own. I did like the little standard size pocket that they had, but I didn't really like the pencil board. I have the Love and Trip one though from maybe 6 months ago, and I really like that one. So that's in here. I'll show you that in a second. But I have some natural stone beads from Michael's on here as well. This is a necklace charm that I got many years ago at during like vacation. We were in Mexico. And these are some metal leather studs that I picked up at the leather shop where I picked up my leather scraps from. So it's just been little by little making changes. I put some nature patches on here just to add a little touch of nature to it. I'm pretty obsessed with those. I position them so they kind of look like they're blowing in the wind. I don't know. And then I hand sewed this time. I used my little clampy. I feel unstoppable with this thing. This thing is awesome. I got this from Temu, and it's like, it was perfect. So I used my little boop, 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 and I made I hand sewed a pocket. I did it on the back first to see if I would like it. And I used this blue thread here to match the navy elastic that I put on. And so let me show you what it looks like on the inside. Okay, so we open her up. So here's my first pocket. This is just scrap leather that I picked up at that leather shop I told you about. And I use it I can fit pocket size inserts in here, which I really like because if I have something that I need to remember and it's in my pocket rings, I can just take it out of there and have it like readily available. Plotter has those little folios that you can stick inside your plotter, and that fits in here too. And then I just have some stickers back here. So all of that just boop right there. And then I have this, I can slide things under if I want to. This is actually a B6 Slim, but I've stuck that in here too. It has lots of stickers. What else do I have in here? Date stickers in here. I have index cards. I have some to-do lists. 2 different kinds of to-do lists for, you know, when I want to write something down and remember it when I have something I need to get done that week. Boop, boop. Then here, this is just the Travelers Company standard size. So I have some mail in here. I have some tabbies in here. This is I really liked this one. I picked this up when their Love and Trips collection came out, and I got the passport size Travelers Company one. I didn't get the standard size one. I kind of regret it, but I knew I didn't need both of them. So I was like, no, only get one. You know, so I have that in here, and then I have this tri-fold folio in here, and I have more memos and more stickers back here. Boom. So that's a folio. Next is my first insert. This is a standard TN size insert from Jet Pens, and it has Tomoe River paper, which is really nice. I've been using this for my content ideas on the go, you know, and I'm really enjoying this. I just picked this up. It's like an accordion planner for the year that Rotterfaden did. I thought it looked interesting, and I grabbed it off of the Gentleman Stationer website. I actually don't know what I want to do with this yet, but I couldn't help myself. The thing that I really wanted to add to my TN, which is why I started this journey in the process, is my Muji rings. This is my 20 hole Muji rings, and I have multiple types of paper in here. I did my extendo paper, of course. I have to-do lists in here. I have notes about things I want to learn in here. It's really cool to have like extra. I just love this. I'll never get over this. And it's cool because you can hang it out the other side. So like if I want to have this, but then I'm in another section, I can leave that open and still have that and then be over here somewhere doing something. Oh my God. I really think I did my big one with adding the 20 hole rings to the inside of this. So I have a bunch of different kind of paper in here. This is that Kokio business paper. This is Muji paper. I also picked up some Iraful paper. I wanted to try my hand at this. Someone commented on a previous video because I was talking about making DIY inserts. I was saying how I was kind of having trouble finding the perfect size paper that I could just cut in half and make A5 slim inserts. And somebody mentioned that A4 it cuts perfectly into thirds to make like the TN size. So I tried it. I purchased this A4 loose leaf sheet, 75 GSM. I will be honest, I thought this was going to be like coated Japanese paper, kind of like the Merriman paper, Maruman, or the Tomoe River paper, but it's not coated. It's actually more of a, it's not a rough surface, but it's completely uncoated. And they made it to do really well with like inks. I did watercolor and it didn't go through the other side. Like it really grips the nib when you're writing with a fountain pen. It has very little shadowing on the other side. These dots are because I flipped this over before the page was dry, but this is super juicy gel pen and you can barely see it through the other side. So if you have a really juicy fountain pen that you like, you might like this paper, but it's not coated, which I was expecting. But A4 pages cut into thirds perfectly so that I can add it to this TN without having to trim off or waste any paper. And I just punched holes in it and it's been amazing. So I'm really proud of being able to put this in here because it just gives me more flexibility. And next, I tried my hand at a DIY booklet insert. I made the cover with using watercolor paper. And then the inside is my Kokio business paper that I trimmed. It's 65 GSM, I believe, so it's a little thicker than Tomoe River paper. But I just wanted to try out my hand. I rounded the corners by myself too. I think you can tell because it's not it's not perfect. Like the Jet Pens one looks really nice. Because this one I just picked up. But this one I made by myself. I've just been keeping notes in here, like stuff I want to look up. And then this is a A5 slim insert. It's got like pockets on both sides. So I've got some tabbies and some stickers in here. This is an actual Traveler's Company insert back here. So I decorated the cover a little bit. I decorated the front page a little. But this has watercolor paper in it. And I've just been painting in this. Like, I like having something nearby that I can just be creative on. So I have this in the back of here right now. Sometime this month, I'm going to get my first take-a-note planner, and it's going to go in here as well. So I might have to take one of these two out to make space for that. But right now, I have these two in the back. And then, this is the other side. Got some more stickers back here. I have some pocket inserts in here as well. And this is my most recent addition in the back that I'm really proud of as well. So this is actually a Denick notebook. Denick is a company that makes their standard notebooks already come in an A5 slim size. And they are a lay flat design. It's not coated paper, but it's like 70 or 80 GSM. So it's pretty nice. So instead of taking an A5 notebook that I had and cutting off like 2.5 inches of pages, what I did was I just took a Denick notebook that I already had and I cut off, when I measured it like 2.3 centimeters, and I just used my paper trimmer that I have at home and I just cut this little bit off the notebook, and then I slid it in this pocket that I sewed on back here. So I've got some stickers back here, and instead of having to put this on the strings, it fits right here in the back pocket. And I'm just loving this. I'm probably going to use this as like a daily, undated dailies. I tried, initially that was my goal for this, the one I made by myself with Kokio paper, but I'm realizing that plain paper is really hard to write straight on, and if I'm trying to like separate the information by day, then I realized I'd rather have a light grid. I don't know if you can see that. It has a beautiful, really light dot grid on the paper, and so I just put this in last week, but I rounded the edges too. It's a soft cover, so I used my little edge rounder here, and I just took a couple pages at a time and I rounded all the edges. So now this thing just sits in the back pocket here, and I can use it for notes and everything. And I think it'll also fit if I want to like slim down a little bit and actually carry my traditional TN. Yeah, look at that. It fits perfect in the standard TN as well. So it was a perfect notebook to try. If you are someone who has like a standard TN, but you want thicker booklets than what traditionally come with the Travelers Company, those booklets have like 60 pages in them. If you want something that's a little more substantial, you can get one or two of these Denik notebooks and just trim a little bit, and you can fit two of them. If you trim it, right, you can fit two of them in a standard TN with no overhang. If you take like 2.5 centimeters off of the paper, you can fit two standard Denik notebooks in your standard size Travelers Company notebook without any overhang. So this is an option. If you don't mind trimming a little bit, it hurt my feelings to trim a full A5, because that's like, let me show you the difference. This is my Stalogy. This is a full A5, a standard A5, and this is a Denik notebook. So you can see that's about 1/2 inch. This is the one I trimmed on top of the full size Denik notebook that I didn't trim. And that's like almost 1 inch. Yeah, so this is the difference. So instead of having to trim almost 2 inches off of a full A5, you can buy an A5 Slim and then just trim a little bit and have a much more substantial amount of pages in your traveler's notebook without having to have like separate booklets. So I really like that idea. The paper in here is pretty nice too. It's not coated. It's not my favorite kind of paper in the world, but it's really nice, and it's a good quality. And another cool thing is their covers. They have so many cool like notebook cover options that you can choose from. So I ordered a couple pocket size and a couple of these A5 Slim size. And I think this, I don't have a Louise Carmen, but I'm pretty sure that this standard size that this company has would fit perfectly in a Louise Carmen without needing to trim it. But if you trim it a little tiny bit, then you can fit it in your Travelers Company notebook as well. So I just figured that out within the last week, and I was pretty proud of myself. I just took the last couple pages like this, and I slid it in this little pocket that I hand sewed back here as well. I lined it up, and I punched it down the sides, and then I hand sewed it with that needle that I showed you I had. And I just love having this back here. I'm still determining like the setup I want to use. I think I want to divide the pages in half. I already started doing my paper testing, and I started with the Energel because that's my favorite gel pen, and it leaks through the page in a lot of different notebooks. This is a Pentel Flotoon. Let me see. Yeah, you can't even see it. You can't even see it on the other side. And this is my juiciest gel pen. So I really like this paper for that reason. I really like having notebooks on hand that I don't have to think about what I'm grabbing when I get ready to write something down, because I need to check and make sure it's not going to go through the page. I don't have to worry about that with this paper. There's my Pentel Energel. My Kokio paper didn't bleed through as well, so the Kokio paper is pretty good. This Tomoe River Paper notebook from JetPens is actually pretty good because my Pentel Energel did not bleed through on this paper. I was really shocked about that. It has some pretty intense shadowing sometimes because it's only 52 GSM, but I didn't get any bleed through with my Pentel Energel. So that I was really surprised by that. But yeah, this is my new setup. Once my Take a Note comes in, I'm really excited. It's going to be my first Taiwanese planner. It's a horizontal spread and it has 2 weeks per page. I'm really excited to put that in here, see how it works in here, and like turn this into my like a daily project manager type planner. But yeah, this is my DIY Traveler's Notebook. I'm calling it my TN Ultra because it fits standard Traveler's Company inserts, but it fits way more of them than your traditional journal cover would. And with my added hand sewn pockets, I have a lot of functionality here. I'm going to come back and do an update once I get my Take a Note in because that's going to go in here too. But for right now, this is her. I'm very proud of her. Let me know what you think. Do you love her as much as I do? I love her so much. This is the best one I've ever done. And it's also been the cheapest endeavor because this leather was only $8. And the scrap leather was very cheap from the... Like, I should have just started with this, you know? But I had to learn all the things that I did learn on my other attempts. And now here we are. So there she is in all her glory. Looking cute, looking thick. I didn't pick up any of the new Traveler's Company inserts this year or the special pencil boards they just dropped, but I did pick up the sticker pack that they had when I bought some things on the Gentleman's Stationer. And it actually came with this huge selection of like, I got some dot stickers in here. I got label stickers. I really only bought this thing for the onigiri. This is my favorite sticker by far. But it came with all this other stuff back here too. Some of it is dry transfer. I've never actually used dry transfer stickers before, so I have to figure out how to do. I think you just like rub it, like I think you take this sheet off and you like rub it on the paper. I'm gonna have to try this. I've never had transfer stickers before. But I'm actually really excited because it also has these monthly tabbies and they give you 2 different sizes. I'm probably going to put these in my Denic notebook in the back here for my daily spreads that I do by hand. So this was a happy surprise because I thought that it only came with the Traveler's Company stickers, and I really wanted this onigiri one. But yeah, that is my video for today. Just showing off my most favorite DIY project that I am the proudest of. I had to fail a couple times to get here, but it was all worth it. And I'm going to be taking this into 2026 with me as a part of my journal planner ecosystem. And I'm going to do an update when my pre-ordered planner comes in. I'm going to do an updated 2026 planner stack video when that planner gets here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about my TN Ultra, my DIY beauty. I love her so much. And I'm going to make another video when my Take a Note gets here because I'm really excited about that. Okay, y'all have a good day. Thanks so much for watching.